of God. And this man Saul was, brethren, pray hard. This man was a very powerful man. He was a Pharisee and had been schooled in the very best schools of that day. He could read, he could write, and as best as he knew, he was obeying the will of God. He went to the high priest and to the temple and asked them to give him letters of authority. I want you to understand tonight, I'm not here on Larry Eubanks' authority, but I'm here tonight under the authority of him. I want you to understand, I'm not able to shine no light down on you tonight. And if I did, I couldn't do nothing about it after I did. I want you to see how old Saul, as he went and asked for those letters of authority, and how, my friends, it was his desire to bind up every man and woman that he caught in the temple, bringing this new doctrine called Jesus. Listen to me tonight. Why they gave him those letters, and I believe they did. How the Bible's silent on that. But my friends, I don't believe that was the first time he'd ever done that. But listen, how he went down there how to do people harm. How he went down there in his own self how to do what he wanted to do, like he wanted to do it. And it simply don't work that way with God. And he got down there a little piece. I don't know if it was a mile or 5 miles. But there come a spot, his spot. How the Bible said a light shined down from heaven. And that light was so bright that it stopped old Saul right in his tracks. And he fell down, and the light shone about him. I've seen the light. Now, I don't know a lot of y'all. I don't know who belongs to the church and who don't. But listen, I tell you what I've seen. I've seen this week the light shine down around some people in New Home Church. Listen, the people around those Saul, trembled, yeah, they did. I'm just going to take my time. Listen to me. The Bible said how they heard a voice, but saw no man. Hear me tonight, sinner friend, how you've heard the voice of God, speaking to your heart, how you may not can see him with your natural eyes, but that don't diminish every bit the fact that he's still there, and the light's still shining. If you feel that warm glow, that burning down inside, that's about the best way for me to tell you how I felt when I was in your condition. Listen, old Saul, he was a big man, a powerful man, but my friends, when the light shined down upon him, he couldn't even see. And the Bible said, when he got up, listen, that they had to leave him. He opened his eyes, but he couldn't see nothing. Hear me tonight. Without Jesus, you'll never be able to see again. Oh, you may open your eyes. Oh, you may live to be 80 or 90 years old. Without Jesus, friend, you're just as blind as you will stay. But listen, they let old Saul. You say, preacher, I'm never going to fall on my knees. You will either in this life or you will when you stand before God in judgment. Yes, you will. Sooner or later, fall on your knees. But listen to me. You say, well, preacher, nobody's never led me. You know what that sounds like? A stubborn spirit. And you better get rid of it. It'll take you down. That awful place called hell. Listen, it wasn't built for you. It was built for the devil and his angels. You'll go in as an intruder over the blood of the Lamb. But you go in to hell if you don't amend your ways in doing and obey the voice of God. Oh, listen, they led him. You say, preacher, they ain't going to lead me. God have mercy on your soul. I tell you what, a big man ain't one that can whoop everybody in the room. A big man and a smart man is one that realizes there's a time maybe to fight, but there's a time to humble your heart down under the mighty hand of God. I tell you what, I'd like to see old Saul. They led him right down there to Tarsus. And he was just as blind as he could be. Sinner friend, if you'll have it or not, you're just as blind as he was. Listen, without Jesus, you have no hope. Without Jesus, you'll die like a heathen dies and go down to that place called hell. But listen, you know what? The Lord began to speak. You know what He showed me? I said, nowhere while ago that He's speaking tonight. I believe there's some Ananias in this church right now. And the Bible said God spoke to Ananias. He was a willing servant. Whoa, listen. And God said, I got some work for you, buddy. Yes. Why? But you know what? When God told him what He wanted to do, I can just about see his old stubborn heart. He said, why, Lord, they say that man has got authority to kill people, deliver them to the magistrate. I tell you what Saul wanted. He wanted to do away with people. Good, godly Christian people. And the devil today still wants to do away. Have you watched the news lately? Have you watched them line up people and just slay them like a dog? Satan is still alive and well for a little season. But listen, I believe he was down there. The Bible said 3 days blind. But God spoke to Ananias and said, I want you to go over there to a certain house. Listen tonight, it's no accident that you wound up at New Home Church. You're here tonight by the will of God. Oh, listen, my friends, Ananias said, Lord, I can't go. Sort of reminds me of the father that had two sons, and he sent them out. My friend, but that's another service, another day. Ananias finally got willing to go down there out of this certain house, and because God had been dealing with old Saul, that he's going to send somebody down there. I tell you what, I believe the Lord has sent many messages here this week already. Listen, but today is the day of salvation. If you harden not your heart, oh, listen, Ananias went down there out of the right house, the right time, my friend. All God wanted to do is be obedient, and God will take care of the rest. Listen, when Ananias went in that house and laid his hand on Saul, it wasn't the great power of Ananias that caused Saul's eyes to open up again. It was the same light from heaven that it shined down and it blinded Saul's eyes. I want you to know the same Spirit that brings conviction is the same Spirit that'll bring salvation. But we've got to be willing. I believe there's Ananias here at New Home Church tonight. And God's speaking to your heart. You've been saved. And God needs you working in His vineyards. Listen, old Ananias got there and put his hand. Listen, what was important is Ananias obeyed the voice of God and done what God told him to do. And then when you and I do what God tells us to do, then the great light from heaven will shine down again. And not before then. We must be obedient. When Ananias had done all he needed to do, listen, why old Saul stood up and as if it was shingles fell from his eyes. And listen to me tonight, sinner friend. You've come broken-hearted. You've come needing Jesus. But if you reach out tonight on your knees, like old Saul did, you might say, well, I'm just not going to do that. I wish you would. I wish I could plead with you tonight to open your heart up. I can't open your heart up. You're going to have to be willing. You're going to have to find faith. You're going to have to believe the report and come repenting and believing. And when you do, you know what will happen? You get your sight back. Just like old Saul. Do you want that sight back tonight? I tell you what the truth. I want to get a song. You say, preacher, you've not stood long enough. I'd rather get up and say 3 words that the Lord wanted me to say as to say 3,000 words that the Lord would need. If you're here tonight, you've heard the gospel preached all your life. I don't care what church you belong to. I don't care how many times. You may have been baptized so many times. I hear people say the tadpoles in the creek know you by name. But that won't get you to heaven. You understand? You must be born again. And that's what got a hold of us all. You say, preacher, I've been too wicked. I've done this. I've killed. It don't make no never mind difference what you've done. You're a sinner and you need Jesus. And He's got everything that you made. And He can forgive sin. There ain't no big sins. There ain't no little sins. He can wipe the slate clean tonight. What's your number over our brother, right? Come on down here.